Back inside the American Airlines Center for the Stars and the Avs, and tonight's starting goaltenders presented by Kia.
Dan Ellis will try to run his home record to 4-0. He has wins against San Jose, Anaheim, and Philly, and holds a record against the Avalanche over his career of 5 victories against only 2 losses. J.S. Giguère has been near perfect as a sub for number 1 man Semyon Varlamov, who played last night. He's won 7 of his 8 decisions. Goals against average well under 2, and a save percentage that would lead the entire NHL if he had enough starts.
Val Nichushkin, 18-year-old Russian rookie, drafted 10th in the 2013 draft. Nichushkin is among the NHL rookie scoring leaders. He's just out of the top 5, but within reach, and he leads the Stars with a +10 rating. He's on the wing on the Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin line, if you will. And that's Seguin speeding back into his own zone, steering it ahead to center ice. The Duchesne line opens things tonight. Nichushkin was pumped in front of the Dallas bench. Duchesne takes it over. That's Nathan MacKinnon. He was the first overall pick in the 2013 draft, and he opened the scoring last night in Denver. Alex Goligoski partnered with Brendan Dillon. Back of the net, it's O'Reilly to Duchesne, and MacKinnon was waiting in the slot for a puck that never got his way. Seguin leaning back, shot it to center ice. Hayda firing it in. He and Eric Johnson, the opening pair for Patrick Roy, and both teams make changes, and a collision in front of the Dallas bench, and a rough shift for Nichushkin. Here comes Cody Eakin breezing ahead and taking the Colorado line. He had Landeskog tugging at him, the 2012 Calder Trophy winner. Garbutt barreling in there. Roussel back of the net. They're the wingers for Eakin, and a penalty as Benoit and Garbutt were tied up behind the Dallas goal.
As Garbutt tried to pull away from him, his stick got up. They'll check the damage. If there's an injury, it'll be a double minor, and another penalty taken a long way away from their own net. Big Hayda and company have played straight up against the Stars' top line. That's a heavy hit by Hayda on Nichushkin to start this off. He and Johnson have been matched up over and over against Seguin and Benn. Their top pair come into the game tonight at a +18. They go against top opposing lines. They play with their top line. Don't give up much, obviously. Stars' top plus-minus defenseman is Stefan Robida at +7. So it's a double minor. This is not how you want to start. Stars start a lot of games against the Avalanche like this year. Take early penalties.
The silver lining is last night the Stars killed all 5 Colorado power plays, including a couple of 5-on-3s. Dallas wins the draw. They're way better in that department this year, and Roussel cranks it down the ice. Roussel, Horcoff, Goligoski, and Dillon. The set out there with Dan Ellis, the Dallas goaltender tonight. And the Avs will bring it up. Matt Duchesne leads them with 3 power play goals. Parento had 3 assists last night. He takes the line, but gave it up to Goligoski. Landeskog in the corner. Barry's out at the line. He takes the pass. Shuffles it over to Benoit, who got back in the goal-scoring department last night. Feeds it to Barry, who takes a look. Across the ice, Stastny, a shot. He hits the bar, and out off the screen it goes.
Well, the Stars' 2 forwards did not have that seam closed off. Roussel on the far side and Horcoff on the near side. This is the pass you never want to give up. You can hear how close he came to notching yet another one. Boy, he's really been rejuvenated under Patrick Roy. In the semi-doghouse prior, Roy's come back in. Some of their key individuals, Stastny would be one. I would say their goaltending in particular. Don't want to disappoint St. Patrick.
No. Duchesne rips that away from Alex Chiasson, but out of the zone.
I think Chiasson shot it forward. I think that was a smart play. You could see how they were lined up. Saw on his forehand he could go with it. And they get it all the way down the ice.
Tyson Barrie will try it. Gave it to MacKinnon at center. Stalled as he hits Cody Eakin. Chiasson and Eakin doing work at neutral ice. In Colorado, 0 for 31 now over their last 11 games on the power play. They come in 25th in the NHL. Dallas penalty killing 5th at home. They've been very good here with it. Ellis works it around the boards, but Johnson holding it in, gave it to Duchesne and into the corner for O'Reilly. He'll send it back out to Johnson. Barrie fell. He gets back up. O'Reilly goes down to Duchesne. Now to Barrie, a shot. Ellis answers. MacKinnon retrieves the puck for Colorado. 2.5 remaining on this double minor to Garbutt. Johnson straight away, a shot. Save, rebound. Duchesne scores. And it's 1-0 Colorado. Bang, like that.
And they get it on the first one. Comes with 26 seconds remaining in the first minor of this double. This is a rather rotund rebound off a point shot, whether Ellis could pick it up initially or not, and it went straight to him. That's why you have lefties on the right side and righties on the left. Falls right to his forehand, down low. No chance for Ellis to react to the rebound, and Dillon, the defenseman, couldn't pick him up. It's a steady diet of this. Their top two center icemen over and over. Duchesne and Stastny scoring goals against the Stars in this season series.
That's his team leading 15th, team leading 4th on the power play. He also comes in as their overall leading scorer, and it's 1-0 Colorado on the early power play goal. The second power play commencing now. Landeskog going back of the net to get it. Jordie Benn chasing him out. Holden, who's back in the lineup after 2 healthy scratches, passes it over. Benoit gives it back to Holden, who made his AB debut here, by the way, on November 1st. And Horkoff, who's been doing very strong penalty killing work, clears it.
So that's the first power play goal for the Avalanche in a dozen games. It's a double bad for the Stars, too, because they are almost unbeatable when they open the scoring in a game.
Parenteau takes it to center ice and shoots it around. Ellis unable to get it. It was high on the boards. Goligoski makes the play, out battling 2 Avs, but it's in the zone right to Dillon. He's got time and space. He'll use both. Minute remaining on the second minor to Garbutt. Damage already done. It's 1-0 Colorado early in the game. The Avs come in 22-9-1, 45 points. They are 3rd in the Central Division and 6th in the West. In the hyper-competitive West, I might add. Stars are 8 points out of the top 8. Barry moves it up and shot it into the Dallas bench. That's a break.
And in that bench, Lindy Ruff, who's probably not too tickled with the way this one has started on a couple of different levels, talked about the undisciplined penalties last night. That has followed through immediately here tonight. They turned the puck over, didn't sort coverage out in their own zone, and he shouldered a lot of the responsibility of getting this inexperienced D-corps up to speed and functional almost immediately. Inoculate them, if you will.
Face off at center ice. Got such young charges back there. Rome, Daly, Robidas all on the shelf. Eakin tried to swing it out against McGinn, whose pass goes to center. McGinn, Talbot, and Mitchell, center iceman, up front here as they near the end of Garbutt's second minor. Again, tried it down the boards. Cameron Gaunce making his Dallas debut tonight. His 11 previous games in the NHL with the Colorado Avalanche.
Nice little play there.
Partnered with Connaughton. Or was. Jordie Benn's out there. They throw it around the boards. Colton Sevier taking a look at Johnson, who fired it. McGinn tipped it wide. The penalty is over. The Stars are back at full strength. So they got through the second one. Mitchell out to the line. Corey Sarich's shot went wide of the net. Beverly trying to throw a hit, and Sevier jumps on the puck. Hit 5 shots again last night. That's 10 in 2 games as a Star this season. And Connaughton scored his first NHL goal last night, whips it around the boards. Sevier got his first NHL goal on the trip in Winnipeg. Beverly back out. Connaughton's got a gun, but he shot it wide, and Giguère worked it over to McGinn. That's a 4-0 Colorado, helped by those 2 early power plays, and it's Stastny again at the line. Landeskog ran into Benn, and Sarich brings it over and pumps it. Ellis lost the rebound, and at the side of the net, Connaughton trying to clean it up.
Must have just felt it after that, sensed it. Certainly wasn't looking at it when he made the second save.
Top line out here for Dallas. Parenteau sends it in. Sergei Gonchar worked it up, took the hit, and Goligoski into the Colorado zone. Slams on the brakes, tried to work it over to Benn, who Landeskog had all the way to the net. Nichushkin takes a hit. Seguin tried to toss the puck away, and it's Landeskog. Now Johnson in the Colorado zone. Center ice, Goligoski gave it to Whitney. In he comes. He lost the puck at the line. And then a pass off Landeskog to the boards. Nichushkin bumped off of it. There goes McKinnon and Duchesne into the Dallas zone. McKinnon turning on the Jets, and Dillon erases him. Seguin now on the wing to chase on. He looked at him and then pumped it in on net on Giguère. And Jiggy makes his first save of the game. The Avs score first. Matt Duchesne has Colorado up 1-0 early.
Jimmy Benn enjoying what you're going to enjoy in just a moment. The Stars answering some physicality from the Avalanche here early on. There's the old cocoa bonk between the two captains. Both of them were staring at the puck for a second. Landeskog got the worst of that. And then Brendan Dillon, nice step-up hit on McKinnon, who was fabulous last night for them, just inside the Star zone.
Brendan Dillon's team-leading 67th hit. McKinnon knifes that out of the air. Alex Goligoski back to play it for the Star. He was the only Star to come out of that 6-2 loss a plus player. Roussel turned to find it. Pass was behind him in the Colorado zone. Garbutt back on the ice, shot it back of the net. Ziggy pumps it around. And there's Tyson Barrie behind his own net. Out to Bordeleau. Turned it over to Garbutt. Cleach able to whack at the center ice, and Gauntz plays to Connauton, who shoots it on in. Stars with a brief two-game homestand before going off on the road to California prior to the Christmas break. Play Vancouver here on Thursday night.
Red hot Vancouver tonight.
Man.
Won 7 in a row. They're playing tonight.
Here comes Chiasson into the zone. Sarich handling him in the corner. Out to Jordy Benn from Beverly. Shot it wide of the net. Loose in front off Chiasson. Garbutt triple whack at it. Horcoff, he scores! How'd that go in? And the game is tied at 1.
Well, this all starts with their ability to take it in. I think Chiasson got hit with the puck originally. I love that deep drive, though, in. Drive them back. Chiasson did that, then goes to the front of the net. Well, Mitchell had ended up in. They forage for that. It goes wide. Ray Whitney finally gets one. He had been so frustrated. Comes just a few days after Teemu Selanne got him off the schneid in Anaheim, a couple of the most senior members of the National Hockey League. I think Selanne went 2 months without a goal. Whitney just a little wry smile on the tail end of that. He's had better opportunities, but that was a yawning cage on a broken play that ended up perfectly for him.
Well, was it ever broken for Whitney? That's his second goal of the year. His other came on the road at Ottawa and an icing call here on the hybrid against Colorado.
No, the one, Jordy Benn, he's had his moments here over the last month. Got pulled out of the lineup a little bit, but one thing I always notice about him, and I think the coaching staff loves about him, is that he's one of those individuals that plays that position, defense, that can get his shots through from the point. He doesn't get them blocked all that often. Just a little wrister there, get it to the net, create the chaos in front, and eventually the goal.
Horcoff and Chiasson with the assists on the Whitney goal. The second of the year. Beverly digging in the corner. Cole found it, shot it, saves Jaguar. Stops play.
So they get it back to even. An important goal there. Patrick Roy has had his team play excellent road hockey over the first 2.5 months of the season. They're 11-4 away from the Pepsi Center, best mark in the National Hockey League. They played what I would call a rich, attentive, responsible game here on November 1st when they beat the Stars in overtime 3-2. Very systematic, got excellent net minding.
We have points in 3 straight. Now Eakin tried to go forward off that face-off. 35-year-old Czech Jan Hejda. Pass too hot for Landeskog. Gauntz with Stastny breathing down his neck. Takes it back of the goal. Stastny left it. Parenteau out to the line. Sarich back to Benoit. Shooting, save Ellis. Scoops it up with the glove.
No rebound. I think that's going to be important for Danny Ellis here tonight. Rebound control. Use the glove. You saw what happened when he gave up one off to the side on the power play. I think one of the other things the Stars are going to have to be careful here, as much as they'd like to probably come deep and help out this dinged up D-core, you do that and you expose the points to be wide open for shots from distance. So they still have to be cognizant of the fact they got to get out and challenge these shots.
Benoit pumped it back in. The rebound got loose. Ellis having trouble. Parenteau digging it out. It's loose to Stastny, and the Stars get there and clear. Boy, another mad scramble around the Dallas net.
I'm going to say that took some work.
Gauntz popped it on in. Seguin forces Johnson to fall. Big Val going after the puck. It comes straight up the slot to Dillon. Shot it wide. Benn reaching for it. Landeskog has it in the corner, and the Colorado captain takes another hit from Benn, but excuses the puck to center.
Boy, that almost worked out perfectly for the Stars as Dillon came off the bench, and the puck came right to him.
Here comes Nichushkin again, shot at pad stop Jaguar. Nichushkin overstaying a little bit again, and McKinnon to the Dallas line, has to beat 3 Stars and can't do it.
You could hear Lindy Ruff whistling from the Stars bench for Nichushkin to get off.
I bet he understands the whistle. Stars are offside at the Colorado line.
These are 2 of the best whistling coaches in the National Hockey League. You know, you watch Patrick Roy run practice, he doesn't use a whistle, he just whistles himself. Just tongue and mouth and contortion and air flowing through. Same thing with Lindy. He can stop you in your tracks with that sharp cattle whistle that he has.
After the whistle on the ice, Barry off the face-off window hold, and Garbett got there to block the shot. Matt Duchene left it. O'Reilly at the side of the net, and Duchene buried by Dillon. He's back up, spun it toward McKinnon, who was taken by Goligoski. Barry inside the net. Holden goes to Barry and passes off to Duchene. Goligoski scrapping with Duchene, got a little physical there. Eakin barreling in there ahead of McKinnon. Dillon, puck comes straight up the slot again, this time in the Dallas zone. Loose to O'Reilly. Goligoski stick checks it away. Roussel got it out.
That's better. That's their top line with possession in Dallas' zone. They never allowed them interior position. They were feisty on pucks to try to win it along the boards. Good defending.
Jordy Benn moved it swiftly, and now here comes Horkoff to center ice. He'll chase it himself. Jaguar worked it through the corner. Whitney feeling it, if you will. Gonchar down the boards. McLeod stiffed him up. Whitney back of the net. Poked away by Cleach. Came loose to Chiasson, and he fired it, but a hand pass called against the Stars. And now Chiasson and Cleach have the gloves off. Chiasson threw it right. Has him held off to a short left, and then Cleach came back. Both with helmets and visors. So they're swinging.
2 pretty big boys.
Yep. Cleach with an uppercut, then over the top.
I think they're done.
That's it. Jay Scherz has got Driscoll come in. Sticks tap from both benches. And they'll both get 5 in a 1-1 game midway through the first.
Alex Chiasson perhaps trying to shake the cobwebs off his hands. No points in a -7 in 3 games against the Avalanche this season. Goes to the net. Gets into this little set. They called that cross-training, I guess, on Chiasson. They went at one another. The 2 of them fought. Take you back to the last time the Avalanche were here. Landeskog and Chiasson went at it right at center ice off the draw. Alex said he used to like fighting in the USHL. Said you take the helmets off back then and just start throwing them. So he's no stranger to this stuff. It was offsetting stuff down there beyond the scrap between he and Cleach.
Cleach gets a roughing minor. So yeah, it's evened up. They stay 5-on-5 on the ice. Barrington turned back, got it along to Stastny. Gonchar stepped up to poke it ahead to Benn, and here come the Stars. He's got Seguin with him. Sagan's ahead of it offside.
All right, this is the Stars game when they're on their game. And you watch them hustle, all of the forwards hustle to get back. So the Avalanche trying to use their speed. Stop it here. There you go. Not much more you need to say. Everybody coming back to make sure the Avalanche can't hit the Stars blue line with any speed or possession. They get tracked down from behind. It allows the D to stand up. There was a void of that last night in Denver. Spot on there with the top line.
Terrific defending speed this team does. Now Benn trying to use it to attack the Seguin in front. Nichushkin couldn't handle it. Batted out toward the line. Jordy Benn with the keep toward an area that Hayda was occupying. He spit it out. Landeskog at center ice. Knifing his way through. Gonchar steps up to break up the Colorado attack. That's our 10-4 Avalanche with 8:40 to play in the first period and 1-1 game. Power play goal for Duchene and a wacky little number from Ray Whitney. Dallas changing, and Jordie Benn then in no particular hurry. Colton Sevier stumbled. It looked like he wanted to give him the puck. Beverly comes through and a pass up the middle. Off Sevier and Holden into the Colorado zone. Cole going in there with Barry in the corner. Goes off a skate, and Holden presses it forward. Talbot at center ice. Gonzep at the Dallas line.
Stars D has stepped up pretty good in this game. A few guys said you can only do that when you have forwards hustling to get back and help you out in case the puck does get through.
Gone spinning McGinn in the corner. Squirts free to Beverly. Trying to shoot it up boards. Kevin Connauton went around to Gaunt. Took the hit but got it out. And Beverly in a foot race with Mitchell, who had position.
Boy, heavy pinch from the Avalanche D. Both sides. Pucks come around the boards. Probably anticipating a lot of rims with some inexperienced defensemen and just close it off by coming down the boards and trying to keep it in.
Dillon has possession of the puck once more after his pass to Goligoski misfires. Dallas resetting inside their own line. Garbutt wasn't looking for it at the Colorado Blue. McKinnon put it into the middle of the ice. Getting there quickly is Roussel. And Benoit heaves it out to center ice. Goligoski waiting for players to clear. Shot it in off Giguère.
Roussel just gave it to Duchesne twice.
Garbutt brushed against McKinnon. Roussel with a big hit on Duchesne. Turn to the referee, Brad Meyer, who worked the game last night in Denver. Goligoski sends it in. There goes Jamie Benn after Benoit. Strips him of the puck. Looks off to Jordie. Took it back of the net and then centered it. Giguère broke up the centering pass. McKinnon clears. Gonchar to Jordie Benn at center ice. Swung it around the boards. Barkov there to Benn. And Johnson will take it back of his net. Barkov chasing him. Bordeleau. Neat little pass through to Mitchell. Cutting his way into the Dallas zone. Gonchar had him. So did Jamie Benn. Jordie Benn. Jordie's back behind the net. Barkov leaning in. Mitchell pivoting away from Gonchar. Threw it back of the net for McLeod. Fourth line out here. Bordeleau is dumped in front. His stick was chopped in half. He's on his way to the Colorado bench.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know how Jordie Benn got away with that. I liked it. It was fierce. He put up the gauntlet, but it was delinquent.
Jordie Benn's pass cut off again. Johnson very deep in the zone, and now the Stars have the puck with some abs trapped. Here comes Cole. Sagan joining off the bench. He leaves for Whitney. A shot swallowed by J.S. Giguère.
This game's going to get greasy tonight, I think.
The beauty of the back-to-back. A little bit of carryover and some angst from the Stars in a 1-1 game here.
Stars owner Tom Ghilardi here again tonight. He's been with the club on the road a couple of times this season. And I'll tell you, the Stars record in his presence is impeccable.
Very good.
I don't have the actual numbers on it, but it has to be, the winning percentage has to be in the 90 percentile. They don't lose very often when the boss is around.
And aren't they unbeaten after the party?
Well, that one, yeah.
Yes,
there just haven't been enough parties, I guess,
right.
is what you're alluding to.
Yes. Throw more parties. 5:36 left in the first period. Good crowd tonight here at American Airlines Center. Tyler Sagan will work the draw with Stastny as Giguère's right. Benn's going to go.
This is the one that almost leads you to believe that they know they missed something in front of the Stars net. And the second penalty that the Stars take acres away from their own net. Just pursuing a loose puck. Reached out with the free hand and accused of. This doesn't help the cause. I mean, it's a touch foul on Johnson, who went down trying to jump it. I don't think he did anything. I think he was trying to avoid him the whole time.
Third first period power play for the Avalanche. They're 1 for 2 on an early double minor against Ryan Garbutt for high sticking. Jamie Benn sits and Benoit gets the pass back. Avs spread it out there. Stastny had a 4-point game last night after 9 games off the sheet. Barry working it in. Centered at Stastny. A shot and a save Ellis. Out to the line for Benoit. Barry returns him the puck. And then gets it back in kind. It goes over to Stastny for a shot blocked by a diving Brendan Dillon, and Horcoff and Roussel work to get it out.
Brendan Dillon's had a big bounce-back game so far here in the first period physically. Just seems more assertive. Don't overthink it.
He said last night that was a mistake. Trying to get better. And Jordy Benn fell at center ice. The puck is shot in on Ellis.
Holy noxious vacillation there. They get away with. Stars in scramble mode here after the initial save earlier by Ellis, and perfect timing for Dillon to drop down and take the bottom away there. That was just, you couldn't put earrings and makeup on that one in neutral ice and make it look pretty. That was ugly.
Hard to describe.
It's one thing to fall down, a teammate out too when you're killing a penalty.
That's tough stuff. They get away with it. Here's Duchesne to O'Reilly on the wing. Everybody on this side of the ice except for Johnson, and the Stars' Jordy Benn cranks it down.
I don't think there's any question that the Stars have taken too many penalties lately. They've been shorthanded heading into this game 35 times in the last 8 games. They're overtaxing a group that's already banged up and missing some key people.
He can put it into his own bench. That is not a penalty.
It's a good thing he was being hustled on his backhand. And Cody Eakin's another guy that has played some excellent hockey for the Stars, but has hit a little rut here lately, especially offensively. He played a season-low 14 minutes when they were in Winnipeg. No points in the last 4 games, but he's good at doing this.
However, the Avs prevail. That's Holden at the left point. Half a minute remaining on the power play. McKinnon to Duchesne, back of the net. To sneak it over to O'Reilly. McKinnon to Duchesne, took a whack at it. Ellis was there standing tall on one knee. Johnson. O'Reilly into the corner for Duchesne. He had Holden breaking to the net. Therefore, he must chase the puck to the line. Turned it over to Dillon, and he'll bang it down.
Good kill. Got one big save from Dan Ellis. Needed one early on. Good group defending by everyone else.
Crowd trying to inspire the Stars home in their victory green. It's the 14th time this season. Sarich shot it wide of the net. Gonchar took the hit but worked it over to Nichushkin. He wasn't unable to get it out of the zone.
Well, it wasn't a very good pass. He had Sagan 10 feet away.
Gonchar had to twist the stick around. And Connaughton looking for an outlet. Didn't have one. McGinn barreling back in. Shot it. Ellis might have got a piece. Connaughton worked it over, and Nichushkin chips the bouncing puck out. Here they come. Nichushkin working his way in against Calvin. Swirls, gave it to Connaughton a shot. And he was sort of roughed up from behind. He didn't get it cleanly off.
Wow, great hustle by McGinn to get back and close on him there. I thought he was going to be able to rip that one. Great play. Nice little button hook by Nichushkin to set him up.
Big foul in again to Sagan. McGinn fell. Sagan handing it off, centering to Cole is Goligoski, and it bounces to the side of the net. Goligoski gave it to Sagan in tight quarters. Got Sarich hacking at him. Hands it off to Cole. Trying to spin away from Hayda in the corner. Sagan was dumped. They go to Goligoski at the line. Now for Dillon. Left side. Shot it. Was tipped over the top of the net. Sevier was in the vicinity. Cleared to center. Cole quickly out after it. And Dillon alertly playing it over. Pass from Sevier behind the intended target, Cole. Parenteau sending Landeskog deep with Goligoski in the Dallas zone. And Alex bumped him off the puck. Sevier in check. In the corner, Landeskog. Beverly trying to get it out.
Pinch again.
Parenteau back of the net, centered for Stastny. On his skate to Cole. He'll flip it out, accommodating the Dallas change. 85 seconds left in the first period. And a puck out of play.
Give us a chance to remind you that as you enjoy your cold one, I might add here tonight, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game. Brought to you, of course, by Miller Lite. Well, good shift. Nichushkin is turning into an assist machine. 6 helpers in the last 7 games for him, able to cruise it down. They got Modano and Mrs. Mo on the screen here. They're expecting.
And they just announced that here in the building. Congratulations, you two kids. McKinnon tried to shoulder Jordy Ben. The Stars come away with the puck. Eakin stretching out for it. Down the wing, shot it. Pad stop Shigir out to Gonchar with people in front. He pumped it wide of the net. Jordy Ben shooting. It trickled through in front. Holden makes the play. Perry with under a minute to play in the first period. Shot it off Duchesne into the Dallas zone. Gonchar to Jordy Ben. Up the middle, a leaping Duchesne makes the grab, and then he's bumped off again, this time by Eakin. What a rough night for Duchesne so far. Whitney shooting it out of the corner. Jaguar puts it on a tee for Johnson, but now Whitney's barreling in there. Chasing the back of the net. Markov driving hard to the boards with McGinn. Mitchell getting under Whitney. Tie-up of sticks and skates, and McGinn clears. And Ellis hands it off to Goligoski. See that a lot. Jason. The pass off Mitchell's stick. I guess they're calling that play with a high stick.
Well, the Stars have come out here tonight with more bite. Outside of an avoidable penalty early in the frame that cost them a goal, they've really gone after the Avalanche with their checking game. I think there's been some sandpaper in a lot of the units and on defense. Been a good opening frame, much better. And they've marked the top-end guys for the Avalanche for a little physical abuse, too.
So it's better. Matt Duchesne started the scoring in the first period, and the Wizard answered 5 minutes thereafter. The Stars and the Colorado Avalanche. Second game in as many nights. Tonight, we're in Dallas. Stars looking for a measure of revenge after being defeated 6-2 last night. Hang in there. More stuff coming next.
Hockey on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Enjoy year-end savings during the Dream Big sales event. Ford is the best in Texas. By Q Clothier and Rich Hippie, official wardrobe providers of the Dallas Stars. By the all-new Mazda 6. When you change everything, you change everything. Before you head out to celebrate the season, remember to plan a sober ride home. Visit SoberRides.org.
Dallas Stars definitely bowed up in the first period. 1-1 tonight over the Colorado Avalanche. In terms of hits, Razor, they really took it to them.
Yeah, 3-1 margin in that department and really set the tone physically in the opening frame, especially on the top-end guys, top forwards for the Avalanche, who've done so much damage offensively in the season series so far, including last night. Roussel and Duchesne. Matt Duchesne got clobbered a couple of times in the opening frame. He was looking for a penalty on that one. Speed bumps. Lindy Ruff was pretty pleased with the effort from his group in the first 20 minutes here. Lots of hockey left.
Cody Eakin was 8 for 13 last night, but now he is 1 for 6. Some nights it goes that way.
Depends on who you're matched up against, too.
It does. Stastny's a 55% draw man. He'll turn and find it along the boards. Walked right into Alex Goligoski, and Eakin passes forward. Garbutt and Roussel together at the line. Roussel trying to carve his way through. Garbutt plays it around behind, and Landeskog took a pretty good hit from Eakin, but got the puck to center ice. Parenteau chasing it. Stastny following it up. Eakin blocking him up right at the Dallas line. And in front of the Colorado bench, Cody Eakin unable to escape. Gonchar pushing Stastny down, and Stastny responds by tripping Gonchar, and a penalty coming up against Colorado. Ben takes the line, leaves it for Seguin, threw it in front, and he had both Nichushkin and Ben there. Extra attackers on for the Stars, but the puck comes around the boards. Duchesne's going to get there, and Dallas will get its first power play of the game.
A retaliatory one. The minor on Stastny as he makes the 85.
Colorado penalty, 26-foot skate. Tripping.
Patrick Waugh has to encourage the other side of his special teams, and the Stars trot out their sorry home power play percentage, 2% here at American Airlines Center. 1 for 47 coming in. So the Avs got healthy in the first. See if the Stars can do it here in the second on the power play.
The one belongs to Stepan Robidas. who is on the shelf. Alex Chiasson, Jamie Benn along the boards, worked it over to Gonchar. He wants Seguin, but the Avs wouldn't give him the pass. Benn kicks it out to Whitney. Shot off Benn's skates. Sort of in between a shot and a pass. Seguin down low. Chiasson rammed it at the net, and Seguin following up, dribbled it wide. Out to Gonchar. Now to Whitney. Gonchar had a career afternoon in Winnipeg on the road trip. He had 4 assists in the game, and he's picking up points regularly lately, but not here as Cliche clears.
I mean, just think about it with this power play. They've been on it for 86 minutes at American Airlines Center. 86 minutes with an extra guy out there, sometimes 2.
It's amazing. Eakin outside the line. Whitney brings it in. Lays it back to Gonchar and gets the return pass. Chiasson's in front, but it goes off Hayda's skate. Peverley on the change. Looks for Gonchar. Fidgets it down, but right to Hayda, who clears.
It's the problem with the lack of a right shot defenseman over on that side. It was a tough pass for Gonchar to handle. He's the Stars' leader in power play points.
Worked it in onside to Cole. Seguin leads Dallas, by the way, with 3 power play goals. Eakin out to Gonchar. Shot it. Blocked it from Sevier. Right back into Giguère.
Well, he's got a quick release.
Yeah.
A fixture on Willie Desjardins' power play in Cedar Park, and it's a functional one. Best in the American Hockey League. He was a goal scorer with them, leading the AHL in goal when he got called up to the Stars. First one blocked, jumped right on net. Tantalizing little focus save by Giguère on that.
Cole bunts it back out. Goligoski climbs to his left. Pumped it back into the corner. Cole jockeying with Andre Benoit. Cole trying to stagger away. Eakin gives it to Sevier, who's chased to the line by Cliche. Now there goes Cole in front of the save. Giguère rebound loose, and Eakin will pick it up. Goligoski. Well, they had a couple of looks, but the power play is over, and on is Stastny, and the Avs miss an opportunity.
Yeah, 2 really good looks, and love the way that last unit went about their business, starting right from the face-off win to begin it all.
Stastny brought it in. Benn engaging him. Dillon has to spin to find it. And here comes Big Val down the boards. Gave it to Seguin across the ice for Benn. It rockets off his skates. He and Barry go back of the net. Benn trying to outmuscle him. Nichushkin has the puck on his backhand. A shot. And that's blocked to Benn back of the net. Looking for Nichushkin, who's trying to open up in front. Benn buying time against Barry behind the line. Rotates out into the slot, and Parenteau clears. Gauntz is giving chase, but it's icing against Colorado.
So, yeah, pretty good set. Cole a little dinged up on the tail end of a good shift on the power play. So Peverley, who's been excellent, although it wasn't last night, on faceoffs, gets some possession. Stars stack it in the corner. 4 guys, around the puck. They come up with it. Ultimately, they go from up high, back down low. Swift sweeping, elegant move by Cole, thwarted by Giguère, who's made a couple of good stops here in the second.
Stastny wins his 7th faceoff of the game. The Avs get it out. And at the Dallas line, Parenteau turns it over. Connaughton with a lead pass to Whitney. He's got the Dallas goal, but they're offside here.
So the Stars dealing with some injuries. You saw Cameron Gauntz out there, just up from the Stars farm team in the American Hockey League. Vern Fiddler went on IR today. He's been out with an upper body injury. Injured in the game against the Hawks here in Rome. They lost last night on defense, and that's where it has really stung this group. Rome, Daly, who's going to be out for a while, and Stefan Robidoux broke his leg and won't be back until late in the regular season at best.
Here's Holden, who's found his way back into the Colorado lineup tonight. Gennon is the scratch. O'Reilly trying to work his way past Dillon. Ellis played it to the boards. McKinnon in to get it. Back of the net to Duchesne. O'Reilly's in front. He missed him with the pass, and it dribbles off Chiasson's stick. Colorado stays alive. McKinnon back of the net for O'Reilly. Spinning off the check, and shot it through and away from Duchesne. Chiasson again weakly and not out. Whitney couldn't get to that puck as it was rounding its way out to center ice, and Colorado reinstalls. That's 12-10 Avalanche in a 1-1 game nearly 5 minutes into the second period, and they get away with that pass.
Well, Alex Chiasson guilty of not moving his feet. How many times do you see that? Players in behind their own blue line try to make plays when they're not skating, and it gets turned over. Got away with the last one.
Talbot and Eakin shoulder to shoulder at center ice. There's a pileup. Dillon comes away with the puck. Roussel crossed the line, and Talbot there to intercept. In front of his own bench, Eakin hunted him down.
Been good at that tonight. They've been really attentive, the forwards, and screaming back, helping out this D with back checking.
Long pass from Jordy Benn to Garbutt. His shot, he broke his stick when he was shooting it. Centering feed is whacked out of the zone. Jordy Benn on it again for the Stars. Pass off Sevier, icing against Dallas. And a chance to remind you that this holiday season you can give the gift of Kari Letton, Jamie Benn, and Tyler Seguin with the holiday hat trick. And man, are they flying off the shelves, the guys told me tonight. Get a ticket to 3 exciting Stars home games plus a free Stars fleece blanket, all starting at $70. 214-GO-STARS, DallasStars.com. It's a no-brainer. Beverly tied up Cleach, won the face-off, and here come the Stars. Cole back on the ice. And he's able to work it across the line. He's hounded from behind. Sevier, Eric Cole. Holden working him over. Cole comes out of the corner. The Sevier back of the net. Beverly's in front of it. Barry reached around to put it into the corner for Bordeleau. They jam up there again. Sevier with no option in front of the net. Keeps it deep. Beverly rammed off the puck by Holden. Slid it to the line, but not out. Jordy Benn to Cole. Off to the side for Beverly. Wrap around. Off Giguère. Rebound. Gonchar shot it wide. Cole covering at the right point. Deep to Beverly. Good attack here by the Stars in the Colorado zone. Cleach gets to the puck, and he pops it out to center ice.
Good shift all around by that group, right? Starting with the face-off win by Beverly in his own zone.
Ooh, that was just offside at the line as Seguin and Nichushkin were looking to go. 13:20 left in the second period. 1-1 in Dallas.
Sergei Gonchar has designs on representing Russia at the Olympics in Sochi in February. His game starting to round out. Came close to scoring his first goal as the Dallas Star. Nice keeping by his partner to keep it going. Giguère just got a piece of this one. Smart little move to the slot area. Of course, assists have been rolling for him. Became the second oldest defenseman to set up 4 goals in one game in that matinee tilt in Winnipeg. Tim Horton ahead of him, the great Tim Horton, hockey fame. Gonchar said, I'm only 39. I got lots of time to break that.
Yep.
By the way, those were the only 4 assist games of those 2 players' careers. Horton's when he was with the Pens, and Gonchar just last weekend.
The 23-year-old Connaughton and the 23-year-old Gauntz on the ice here. Yeah, go ahead and do the math. And Connaughton out ahead to center. Roussel snuck it over. Connaughton whipped it. Deflected wide.
It's a good sign. The Stars D have been up on the attack a little bit here tonight.
Now wraparound by Roussel. Stifled at the side of the net, and they're locked up in a penalty coming up against Roussel.
The officiating's been iffy tonight.
Stastny in the corner. Extra attacker on for Colorado. And there is the whistle, and Antoine Roussel will add to his team-leading penalty minute totals.
I hate to harp on it, but it's another penalty at the other team's goal line. Now, in fairness to Roussel, I think he was having his stick held onto him as he tried to get free. It's tied up. It's tied up. Benoit goes down, draws the call. Roussel's incensed. Little overflow of insolence on his way to the box. He never changed those calls, though, and the Stars are back in a penalty-killing mode here again.
4th power play of the game for Colorado. They're 1 for 3. Matt Duchene has the goal. His team leading 15th and team leading 4th with the man advantage. Stars wrestle after the puck, and Duchene out to the line for Barry. Looked at Johnson. Get back to Duchene. O'Reilly in the corner. Back to Duchene. Trying to pivot away. O'Reilly centering feed, and Goligoski hits the deck to block it. Dillon finishing off O'Reilly back of the net. Johnson swivels back out, passes over to Barry. And then to Johnson. Moves it on in, shot it, save Ellis, but he kicked the rebound up the slot, and Peverly takes over. Hauls it to center ice and shoots it down the ice.
So Roussel gets the double minor, the second one for unsportsmanlike. So it's the second double minor the Stars have faced in the game tonight after facing a couple of 5-on-3s in Denver.
Eakin harassing Duchesne, who escapes, slips ahead to the Dallas line, tried to kick it away. Chason makes the play, and Eakin gets it out. A minute gone in this 4-minute power play for Colorado. Parenteau into the zone. Garbutt got a piece of it. Jordy Ben clears. 36-year-old Giguère leaving it for Tyson Barrie. And here come the Avs. P.A. Parenteau. With 4 of them stacked up at the line, he had nowhere to go. Barrie took it in, took a whack from Garbutt, worked it over to Landeskog. Jamie Benn out here in a penalty-killing mode, and it's stolen. Garbutt, penalty coming up against Colorado. Garbutt in to Benn, and his shot was blocked by Stastny. Interference coming up against Colorado, which has the whiff of a makeup.
Patrick Laud wanting to get a ear on this one.
Penalty, number 4, minor penalty for interference.
They threw a stick, did they not? One of the goal scorers last night, Barrie. Garbutt up top, then got crossed up. Boy, they weren't in very good position. There was the stick. Used to do that as a goalie every now and then. Just throw the stick at the puck. Just say it slipped out of my hand accidentally on purpose. What's this? Whoopsie. And because it goes into the feet and it's toward the puck carrier, it's a minor.
Will not result in a power play for the Stars, but with 2:18 left on the Roussel double minor, it will keep it 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. And the Avs shoot it down the ice. This should be icing, but Mitchell gets in there to win the race to the dot against Connaughton. Talbot and Mitchell, Sagan and Nichushkin out there for the Stars. They can do a little business here. Gonchar with a pass to Tyler Sagan. Nichushkin's waiting for him at the Colorado line. In comes Sagan, swinging wide, passing off to Val. Backhander, that's blocked on its way in. Hayda trying to go, and Gonchar already backing out, has it at center ice.
What a great rush by Sagan. Just prancing, pushes everybody deep, laser pass into the high slot.
Here he comes again. Stick checked away at the line.
Doesn't work out as well 1-on-4.
No. Duchesne answering, firing, and Gonchar got his stick there to block it. Midway through the game, the Stars and the Avs are tied at 1 at the American Airlines Center.
Well, the first National Hockey League goals are coming with regularity for the Stars right now. Kevin Connaughton picked his up last night. Started with Nichushkin when we were in Ottawa. Took a while for Val to pot his first. He hasn't stopped picking up points since. And Colton Cedar called up from Cedar Park. Beautiful breakaway goal in Winnipeg in the route of the Jets on the weekend. And then Connaughton, as I mentioned last night, the blister goal. All the work done by Sagan. He drove the net, playing 4-on-4. So 3 of those this year. Speaking of threes, 3 things you need to know about Kevin Connaughton. His shot was clocked at just under 100 miles an hour at the AHL All-Star game. His brother Sean, who played a rather robust and rugged style when he played college hockey with Garbutt at Brown. And he became the 10th Dallas Star to score his first National Hockey League goal in the calendar year of 2013. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Got a lot of debuts. A lot of young guys.
Gons already has his. He got it with the Colorado Avalanche. He played 11 games with them. Duchesne spun away from Goligoski, feeds it over, and the shot from Johnson, he scores! So on the 4-on-4, the Avs find a little seam, and it's 2-1.
And just like last night with Connaughton's goal, it's a defenseman who creeps in the far side. A lot of the work was done by Duchesne, though. Stop it here. Boy, what a turn to lose Goligoski. And then as Ben went over, how many times do you see that too, where somebody gets beat, there's a breakdown, somebody tries to help out the guy that got beat and exposes something in behind. That's where Johnson was able to walk in. He scored his first goal since October 25th last night, and then pots this one this evening.
That's his fourth from Duchesne and Holden. So Duchesne with a multi-point game again tonight. Here comes McKinnon. Striding on in, trying on Goligoski. Pumped him up in the corner. Spun away and gave it to Dillon, and here come the Stars. Eakin on the wing. Whitney takes the line. Eakin to Dillon, who's in deep. Holden takes the body. Whitney's looking for the puck. It's a little help from Cody Eakin, and it's out to Dillon. Goligoski waits, pulls to the middle. Now he shoots it, and that hit Whitney on its way to the net. Eakin to Whitney at the side. And Goligoski couldn't handle the bouncing puck.
Been a couple of times in the game where they've had the Avalanche in an overload on one side of the ice. Couldn't work it to the other side.
Here's Garbutt with a shot, and Giguère makes the save as Colorado is now on the power play for 12 more seconds.
They're trying to get a change in. Stars got theirs, and with some speed walked in and tested the retreating J.S. Giguère in his 42nd regular season game against the Stars. Of course, an epic playoff series with the Ducks way back in the day. Nice to have that you can throw in there in situations like this.
He says it's a perfect time in his career for it. Body doesn't hold up as well over a 60-game season or 60-appearance season. Stars get Roussel back in a couple of seconds, so they don't surrender a power play goal. The Avs score on the 4-on-4 after the offset.
Wait, just struck by the similarities between the 4-on-4 goal the Stars scored last night and then the one they just cashed in on. Replicas.
And a 2-1 Colorado lead with 8 minutes to play in the second period. Stastny brings it back in. Landeskog following up. Seguin got a piece of the puck and then tapped it over toward Jordy Ben. Pass goes off an Av, and so there's no icing. Hayda finding it back of his net. Seguin in for a peek. Stole it. Picks it up in the corner. Swings out. Ben goes to the front of the net. Connaughton a shot. Ben tipped it wide. Hayda was there too. Ben with Hayda on his back. Deep for Nichushkin. Gonna pick it out of his skates. He will. Val turns. Shot it towards Seguin, who flipped it out of the air and then collects it himself. Passes deep to Nichushkin behind the line. Mitchell hanging on him. Nichushkin powering off the boards and then overtaken. There goes Landeskog to center.
Well, lots of activity and puck possession, obviously, but the inability to take it to the net at some point.
Connaughton freewheeling through center ice, and it's up and out of play. It's okay, gang. Before Christmas, you want to get one of these, the 2014 Dallas Stars ice calendar. They make great stocking stuffers, or just get one for yourself. This calendar lets you spend the entire year with your favorite Dallas Stars ice girls who are in their Santa Claus suits tonight, Razor.
They are indeed.
Wrap it up and put it under the tree. Mitchell, Rich Peverly at center ice. Nick Holden. The middle takes the hit from Sevier, gets it in deep. Shots are 14 apiece. Avalanche lead 2-1, and Sevier unable to contain the puck inside the zone. Holden and Peverly collide at center, and there goes Peverly bouncing off Holden. In. Peverly off Giguère. He had Cole breaking toward the net. Stars keep it in. And the pass to Sevier knocked away. Dillon from the right point. Shot it. Tip. And Giguère sliding to his left on his knees.
Better. Find a shooting lane. I think Dillon's been pretty good here tonight. Times he fights that overactivity bug. Talked about it a couple of games ago. He can find equipoise within his game where he's not over-aggressive and gets himself in problems that way, and he doesn't get caught standing. That's when he is a superb defender for this group. What a find he was. Free agent. Stars have 3 of those. Roussel, Garbutt, and him. No draft pick, just good scouting.
Chiasson second round pick in 09 toward Jordy Ben. Deep to Horkoff. This line produced Dallas's only goal. Gonchar on top. Shot ricochets off McLeod. Right back to Gonchar, who shoots it over the top of the net.
That got a piece of somebody, too, on its way through. Sarich probably.
Changing Colorado bench. McLeod will dump it in. On 6th play in the second period. Here comes Jordy Ben. Back in the lineup tonight. After 2 games sitting. And Duchesne stretching out after a puck deep in the Dallas zone. Around the boards to McKinnon. Got Gonchar harassing him. Chiasson hacked it, but right to O'Reilly. And Duchesne swung and missed from midair. The Stars pump this down, and it'll be icing.
Well, this is where you have to be a little careful now. Back-to-back games. Both teams played in mile-high air last night. You're late in the period. It's some mismatches. You saw the Stars with some zone time with the fourth line, a rare appearance for them in the game for the Avalanche. Stars have to deal with this icing. Top line on the ice for the Avs here late in the, or eking toward late in the second period.
And Dallas' top regular center iceman in the faceoff circle will not get a look.
We got 2 centers out here really with Ben and Horkoff. 2 guys that can win draws anyway.
Horkoff wins this one away from Duchesne. Gonchar worked it out to Hayda at center.
That icing get kicked out thing. I think it's also a probe, isn't it, for the second guy? You can watch how the center iceman, the attacking center, is going to line up and then go to work.
Down the Chushkin, moving, shooting, and that was blocked by Johnson wide. Ben tapped it toward Nichushkin, who's tumbled down. O'Reilly with a hopeful pass that Ben intercepts. Gave it to Nichushkin. Seguin almost pulled a groin, staying on side. Now he's chasing the puck. Dylan gets there first. Back of the net, Nichushkin took it away from 2 Avs. Nichushkin trying to center it. Went off the goaltender Giguère with 2 Stars in front. Duchesne out to center ice, and Johnson pulls up, tosses it deep.
The most I've seen Val Nichushkin on the ice in a game. I don't mean skating. I mean laying on the ice at times. First shift he was down twice. This shift he was down twice. The human Zamboni.
Yeah. Icing against the Stars. That's the hybrid call where Benoit won the race to the dot against Garbutt.
Those 2 guys trying to get their step going here again tonight, Seguin and Ben. They've certainly marauded on the road. You can't call the Stars top duo homers. They wish they could. They certainly will want to after Christmas. The production cut in half here at American Airlines Center as opposed to on the road, which is really weird. Usually get the best matchups at home. Haven't been able to convert. Power play is a big part of that, too.
Dylan draws another penalty to Stastny.
And they've been sucked into some whistles here in this game, I think, these 2.
Extra attackers on for Dallas. Seguin shot it in. And the Stars will go on the power play looking to tie the game late in the second. 2-1 Colorado. 3:51 to play in the middle period in Dallas. Second game of the home and home for the Stars and the Avalanche.
Our AT&T U-verse Rewind, we take you back almost a month. The Stars' lone power play goal on home ice was an ugly off both defenders against the New York Rangers. Stefan Robida with the goal. Almost so long ago, it's almost as if it went off Vadnais and Beck and screened past Ed Jockman to get their power play goal.
Vadnais reference. Stars' second power play of the game.
I tell you what, the Stars' power play on the road has scored some important goals for them lately. You know, 2 in the win at Winnipeg. They scored to force overtime in Toronto. Penalty shot winner in Chicago.
Ben digs it out. Gets the return from Gonchar. Chiasson jockeying in front of the net. Whitney. Gonchar to Seguin. Like that shot, but they couldn't get it there. Chiasson circling out, gave it to Seguin. Ben's in front, centering pass, deflected, and not out of the zone. Whitney with the keep to Seguin. Now low, Chiasson to Ben. Across the ice, Gonchar. Seguin a shot, saves Giguère. Rebounds loose, and Holden clears. 3:15 left in the second period. Ellis with a quick up, but Whitney reorganizing for the Stars. Seguin missing Ben at the line. Benoit out to center ice, and here comes Whitney into the zone for Chiasson. Shot it, blocked by Hayda, and those two go crashing into each other. Gonchar for Whitney. Working his way into Seguin, a shot, he missed the net.
What a sagacious pass by Whitney.
Chiasson in deep to Whitney, a shot, he scores! The reports of the Wizards' demise have been greatly exaggerated, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, just 2 assists in the last 10 games for the Wizards. He sets up Seguin on the back door. This is one sweet. Oh, man. Seguin couldn't believe it. Paralyzed him after he whipped it through there, and then he gets it back. Again, working deep in the zone. I think it works better that way. Chiasson draws a little coverage. Whitney hits the far side past a stunned Giguère. He has a pair in the game. Every time these two teams hook up, somebody scores a pair of goals. For Whitney, this has to be like an elephant off his back, not a gorilla.
Ray Whitney's third goal of the season, second of the night. And Dallas scores on the power play at American Airlines Center as Eakin brings it right back in again. Roussel took a hit from Barrie to keep that play moving. Dillon pinching well down on the play to Eakin in the corner. Trying to escape Johnson. Eakin gave it to Roussel for a shot that's blocked. It didn't have a chance. And O'Reilly hands it to Duchesne at center ice. Roussel cut it off, and back come the Stars. Roussel as Garba drives to the net. A shot. Giguère bang that away. Duchesne to McKinnon. And he's surrounded, but got it through to Duchesne against Alex Goligoski. Duchesne stick handling his way around. Put it into the corner. McKinnon. Garbutt played it up. And Duchesne to McKinnon again back of the net. Dillon trying to stay with the 18-year-old Slickster, who heaves it out to Benoit. No shooting lane, gave it to McKinnon. The Stars are in good position. And out comes Roussel to center ice. He wants to change, but didn't come quite far enough. Benoit slows up, and they wave the icing. A rocketed pass, and that one is icing against Colorado. Gauntz is back.
So they get it back to even. The power plays both cashed in. Patrick Roy actually thought his power play looked pretty good last night. Although they went 0 for 5, the Stars had some pretty good looks. They really needed one there. And again, this is following a trend where they do score on the power play when they really need it. I like that.
Stars look like they had that puck, but Landeskog jumped it, and out he goes. The assist, by the way, to Chiasson and Gonchar. Gonchar picks up another one now, 8 in his last 7 games. Here comes Cole. Taking the line, giving it to CBR, moving in for a shot that's off the target. Sarich fanned and missed it. Beverly lost the puck to Sarich. Cole hounding him at center. He backhands it in deep with a minute remaining in the second period. Stastny and Connaughton back there. Peverly will skate for the Stars. They got their legs tonight, and here comes Peverly against Johnson. Drops the shoulder. Johnson cut him off with the stick. Pile up back of the net. It goes to Whitney for a shot that's blocked.
Feeling it. Isn't it funny? All of a sudden the puck finds him all over the place.
Yeah.
Breathing again.
Chiasson hit Horcoff in the skate. That's offside at the Colorado line with half a minute in the period left.
Yeah, these veteran guys, you know, guys like him and even Gonchar, Solani I talked about earlier, goaltender like Brodeur, been greats in their career and getting into the 11th hour of those careers. Nice to have a little gust like this in the sails. It's a word called superannuation, which is becoming useless with age, and that's what we all try to stave off, really.
Oh man. Tell me about it. Ben and Mitchell outside the Colorado line.
Stars have kept the Avs to just a couple of shots here in the second.
Seguin shot that. Both he and Nichushkin wanted to shoot the puck, and Giguère kicks it to safety.
Almost shot it in tandem. Yeah, you go there then. Leg drive. He's always driving with the legs. A wonderful skater. Ran right into the path of Nichushkin, and there you go. Give me that thing. They've had nice pace to their game here tonight.
There's a problem with the clock. There was 32 seconds prior to the drop of that face-off, and on the scoreboard, it's wrong. On the television, I believe it's correct.
Well, there's two different ones within the building.
That's not good.
One by the Ice Girls says 22. The one on the big clock says 31. The Ice Girls have it right.
Yes. Good to know they're on the job. Were you watching on TV? That one is correct. Ben will be dispatched, and Tyler Seguin is 0 for 4 so far in the game. Could use to win this one here against Mitchell. Whacked it at the net, and following up was Ben. Giguère's got it.
Well, they had enough time to talk this over. You could see the conversations going on between the Stars forwards. Set something up off the drive. You know, I'm a righty. I can go to the net with this one. You jump your guy. I'll put it in the general vicinity. Now he's got taken as the tail gunner here.
Ben and Mitchell again to Giguère's left. Mitchell pulled it into the corner. Johnson works it around. McGinn tied up by Seguin right there along the boards. Hot pass. Talbot finds it. Can't get away from Gonchar at the Dallas line. Seguin wants to go. There's just a couple of seconds remaining in the period, and Hayda will toss it behind his net. Well, so Dallas answers twice in the game, and on both occasions, it's Ray Whitney. Two of them tonight for the big guy, as it were. 40 minutes gone in Dallas. Second game of the back-to-back for the Stars and the Colorado Avalanche. Last night it was 6-2 Avs. Tonight, the Stars much more competitive. When we come back, Ray Whitney joins Razor. Stars Hockey on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Enjoy year-end savings during the Dream Big Sales event. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T Uverse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. By Progressive. Visit Progressive.com today. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at Southwest.com. Dallas Stars are very game tonight against the Colorado Avalanche in the rematch. Last night they got thumped 6-2. Tonight it's 2-2 after 2. And the young defense corps Razor playing a pretty good game tonight.
Really are. You know, Gons has stepped in here his first game with the Dallas Stars and played a semi-regular shift at even strength. Jordy Ben's made some good plays. Connaughton seems to be getting more comfortable. And Brendan Dillon, only Alex Goligoski's played more minutes than him. Of course, they're playing as a pair here tonight. Just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Brendan Dillon's first 40 minutes, played about 17 of the first 40. He's been physical, committed defensively. He and partner Goligoski been straight up against the Duchesne line throughout the game. They've held the line to just 2 shots, both of them from Matt Duchesne. So the wingers haven't been able to generate anything toward Dan Ellis in the pipes. They've had help from forwards, but that group on defense has really handled things. They bowed up, played well, played aggressive. Now they're going to do it for one more period, or maybe more.
Stars have a very odd 5-4-4 mark here at American Airlines Center. And again, it's been back for 1 or back for 2. They've had 4 one-game homestands already this season. Colorado played last night, of course. They play here tonight, then they go back home for 1 and then out for 3. This is the way it goes. Gaunce with a pass that hits Eakin in the leg, and Garbitz a little bit ahead of it offside.
Yeah, in a divisional game, and this is the first year of realignment, and it begs the question, are divisional games as important as they have been? In fact, I still think they are. You play 29 against your division, 21 against the other division in your conference in the West, and then 32 against the East. So, you know, when it breaks down, you're like, well, be good against the East. You play the most games against them because it's home and home.
Well, in the West is enjoying quite a season against the East. Talked about that all year. Domination. This one is flipped up between the benches and a bit of a staccato start to the third.
Well, and don't be shocked if this is tactical here in the third period. These two teams have now played 5 pretty spirited periods of hockey against one another. Try to find that extra burst of energy. Both coaches wondering what guys they should use. You know, at times you're going to have to dig deep for Patrick Waugh and use his depth lines. They don't get a lot out of them. He doesn't use his fourth line all that much. Stars do roll 4 lines a lot.
Seems like they got it all squared away now. Seguin with a little bit of help from Nichushkin. They win the draw. Ben down the boards for Seguin. Hayda read the play. Goligoski and Dillon on the back end. There's Val, 43. Trying to turn the corner on Hayda. Using his strength and his frame to take it all the way around, and a save by Giguère. He's 18 years old. O'Reilly knocks it across. Goligoski with a pass that dribbles off of Johnson's stick as Seguin is on his way to the bench. In comes Duchesne. Got a goal and a helper tonight. Shot that one. Goligoski blocked it. Then eliminates him along the boards. Dillon whacked it ahead to Colton Sevier, who finds Cole at the Dallas line. Having trouble with McGinn. Tossing it back and the Stars reset. Sevier passed it ahead. McGinn intercepts. Pass is too far for Talbot. Jordy Ben will get there first. No icing here. A little trouble interpreting icings last night in Denver. Holden goes back into his own zone. Gonchar stepped in front of Talbot. Very aggressive play. Holden around for Tyson Barrie. Barrie's pass ahead to John Mitchell, the player. Across the line to Talbot. Shot it wide off the stick. Markov digging in with Talbot in the corner. Sevier smashed by Bordeleau, but got it out. Sarich has a career-high 4-game point streak on the line. There's Benoit teeing up a rolling puck. Goes off Jordy Ben and out of play. Stars fans, Fox Sports Southwest wants to put you in the zone for select Stars home games this season. Fans can purchase tickets in the Fox Sports Southwest fan zone for only $10. Tickets are located in the South Terrace. Get your tickets today. DallasStars.com/fanzone and use password Fox Sports. Tickets are limited and subject to availability, but Dallas Stars hockey for $10 is pretty good.
Stars watching who comes on the ice. Like this matchup tonight here on home ice, too, with Eakin and Stastny.
Stastny wins the draw. But he fought back a little bit in the second period in that regard. Don's pursuing. Ellis put his stick on the puck, and Garbett cut off at center. Landeskog taps it back. Sarich will try it again. This palindromic defense pairing of 16-61. There's 61, Benoit. Down the boards from Stastny. Don's there to collect it, playing in his first game as a Dallas Star. Got a little help from Cody Eakin.
Well, a lot of help from Cody Eakin. It wasn't a good pass, but that's what's been in the Stars game tonight, that layering and folding under one another and helping out defensively. A good game in that regard.
When they're on their game, that's how they play. There goes Connauton. Parento chasing him, harassing him. Connauton up with the puck.
You hear the instructions. Wheel. Skate it out of there.
Ben to Nichushkin in an awkward spot. Seguin tried to center it, and then he was slammed back of the net by Duchesne. Nichushkin ripped it away from O'Reilly, only to lose out to Duchesne. And here comes Johnson to center ice. Has a goal in each of these 2 games. Ellis stopping it. Dillon running out of room in the corner. To the line, but right to Barrie. Gave it to O'Reilly. Left it for McKinnon. Seguin popped it along to Ben, and he chips it away from Barrie, but is unable to catch up to the puck.
Yeah, there's been a tenacity in the Stars game tonight. Heard Ray Whitney between periods talk about the instructions from Lindy Ruff.
Holden missing the net. Barrie holding it in. Over to Holden again. And again off the target. Ray Whitney has 4 career hat tricks. He's in a defending posture here. Goligoski stronger than Duchesne for that puck with McKinnon. Following up to Duchesne, back of the net. He's crafty, gave it to McKinnon. To the line, and Ellis swallows that bid from Sarich.
Just ends a rotation because of a little box out in front. Duchesne's fun to watch. It's Promethean, this young man. Loves to have the puck. Look at him. Slick. Vaselinity with the pill. Up top it comes. Stars this time under sticks. Good work in front of the net to make sure Duchesne couldn't get a stick on that.
Done a little bit dry in the goal-scoring department, but he picked one up tonight. Bordeleau, McLeod in there trying to tenderize Jordy Ben. Gonchar with a pass to Cole and a good one. Here he comes against Benoit into the zone. Shot it over the top of a ducking Giguère. And Bordeleau hit Jay Scherers, and the puck escapes the playing surface. Hit him right in the head, I think.
Pointed right at it, epic. Off my head. Face off right here. Let's get a new pill.
Sports Radio 1310 and FM 96.7 The Ticket. You'll hear player interviews and post-game press conference.
I don't think people understand just how big linesmen are in this league. Oh my God. When you see them all warm up underneath, they're mammoth. Have to be able to separate some of the gargantuan athletes in this league.
Did you see Shane Heyer in the hotel? He was there in Denver the other day. I couldn't believe it. Huge man. He worked the game last night in Denver. Stars trying to steal the puck. They do. Seabjorn, but it's off his stick, and Barry trying to clean it up in front. And then a penalty coming up as Peverley was tripped up in front of the net. There's the whistle. And so Dallas, who has scored a power play goal at home here tonight, gets a chance to do it twice.
Well, the net drive draws this. Young defenseman.
Minor penalty, tripping.
Barry right in the foreground, tries to get it out. As they turn it back over again, he turns around and gets the stick on him, and right away the arm goes up. Chopped him right in the skates.
Barry's fourth minor penalty of the year leads to Dallas's third power play of the game. And Ray Whitney's back out on the ice. Habs try and entice a makeup call. They didn't get it. Sagan out to Whitney, and a tough pass. Here come the shorthanded Habs. It's Talbot. Whitney did a pretty good job defending, and Gonchar there to clean it up.
Did he ever? KG veteran.
Ben knocked off the puck and into the boards by Talbot. And Sergei Gonchar with another power play assist on that Whitney power play goal. He'll lead it up. Dropped it off, and there's Ben. Can't get away from Benoit at the line.
Rough shift for the Stars captain. He got drilled pretty good by Talbot.
And here comes Whitney again. 6 minutes gone in the third period of a 2-2 game. Slams on the brakes, drew a lot of coverage, and then punched it into the corner for Cole. Stars have the second unit out now, and Goligoski for Peverley. Cole's in front of the net. Peverley didn't have a shooting lane. Goligoski pulls it down and then gives it back to Peverley. Shot it, saves Giguère, rebound. Shot out of play, and a penalty coming up against the Avs.
It was a quick little scamper by Peverley to get that puck to the net.
Colorado penalty, 61, minor penalty, delay game.
Another defenseman takes a minor. Benoit this time. Little give and go up top. They give him tons of room, so go right back at it again. Cole, screen in front of the net. And as soon as they whipped it out, Stars get their two-man advantage. They had 4 minutes of this season. No goal.
45 seconds of it here. Jason tied up, but they'll do that again.
See how they run this one. They've worked on it. All teams do. Sometimes, for whatever, I guess it's geometry more than anything else. It seems difficult to get shots through a lot of times when there's two extra guys out there, and the three defenders are in their triangle.
Talbot won it. Sarich will clear it. That's a big win for Colorado. Ellis bunts it over, and here comes Gonchar. Winding his way up the ice to Seguin at the line. He'll bring it in and then leave it for Gonchar. Into Seguin in the corner. Hayda attacks him immediately. He goes to Ben. Took a look at Whitney, and then they all spread out. Seguin pulled it down and across to Whitney, and he lost it in his skates. Chiasson feeding Gonchar. Moving it in. Passing off to Whitney. Back out Gonchar, a shot. Pad stop Giguère. Gonchar with the keep. And then Seguin lost it in his skates. He has to come to center for it. First minor's over. Barry is on. Gonchar into Chiasson. Chipped it, and then Giguère swung it around the net. Leash waiting for it, and he took a hit but cleared it. Ben got back on side. Seguin reaching for it, gave it to Gonchar. Whitney's in front, but that goes off Mitchell, and then he finds it and clears it. 45 left on the delay of game minor to Benoit. 12:20 to play in the third. Shots 24-16 Dallas. The game is 2-2. Goligoski angling through center, takes the line, but is overwhelmed. Johnson has the puck, and he feeds it ahead. Here comes Cleese shorthanded, and Ellis punches it aside. Beverly trying to catch up to it in stride at center. Gave it to Goligoski at the line. He'll swing in wide. Puck is intercepted, and Goligoski can't make the kick save at the point. Habs get changes. Cole tried to work in against O'Reilly, who cut it off. He turns it over to Beverly. Goligoski's pass intercepted by Duchesne. Dillon will catch him. He leaves for O'Reilly. A shot saved. Rebound, and Ellis got that one, I think, or Dillon did.
I think he hit the post.
Here comes Cole. Habs are back at full strength, and Cole couldn't drag it away from McKinnon. Shifty player. In he comes. He's 18-2. Duchesne slams on the brakes against Horcoff. Tried to work it over to Judson. Roussel steals it, and here come the Stars. Roussel and Garbutt at the line. They're offside. .17 remaining in the third period. Dan Ellis keeping the game tied at the end of a Dallas power play. 2-2 at American Airlines Center.
Ray Whitney, the man they call the Wizard. Pair of goals in the game tonight, one on the power play. He's had some difficulty with bat speed at times on these backdoor plays. Seguin with a sizzling, incisive pass through Hayda in the back door, and he couldn't convert. Yawning net again. Best chance they had on that 5-on-3 power play set.
Stars find the puck at the Colorado line. Holden played it up the boards, and O'Reilly sneaks it past Dillon. Gon's out here now. Goligoski was on for a lot of power play time. And Dillon with Duchesne in pursuit. Seguin will pick it up, give it to Ben. Here come the Stars. Ben at the Colorado line. Johnson wouldn't allow him through. Hayda whips it around, and it goes past both Ben and Duchesne and back into Dallas ice. Cameron Gaunce called up from the Texas Stars in the lineup tonight for the Stars, the Dallas Stars.
His brother, Brendan, is quite a player. First-round draft pick of the Vancouver Canucks.
Cole steals it. Nichushkin gave it to Cole, and then back toward Val again, who has to get off the ice. Holden with a pass ahead. Here comes Stastny. We'll see the Canucks on Thursday night. 2-1-4 Go Stars. Participating close to a sellout crowd. Holden from the line. Shot it tipped. And that was a sneaky deflection by Stastny. Dallas clears.
Goligoski's down the runway between the two benches with an equipment issue. Skate right now, so they're down their big minute defenseman. One half of the pair that has played straight up against the Avs top line tonight.
Well, it's Gonchar and the kids. Jordy Ben shot it over. Andre Benoit cranked it up off McGinn to center.
You feel a little lull here midway through the third. It's come in spurts.
But here comes Horcoff. Shot it. Giguère fought it off and handcuffed him a bit. Sarich to Talbot. Colorado trying to Here comes Mitchell in for a shot, and that one's up and out of play.
Boy, they're fortunate there. Gaunt's got wheeled around on the far side.
9:16 remaining in the third period. The Stars and the Avs locked at 2 in Dallas.
The four-game summary, the Stars just one of 2 teams within the Central Division to have losing records against the rest of the division, 3-7-3. Whitney with a pair of tallies in the game here tonight, close to a hat trick moments ago, and Duchesne goal and a helper. He has 3 3-point games this season. Stars would like to keep him off the sheet the rest of the night. Every time he steps out there, he's a going concern. Really learned to work to get the puck. You know, his face-offs, the percentage has really improved, and his defensive game has improved. You want the puck, you got to work for it.
Mitchell and Beverly working after it now in the circle to Dan Ellis's right. Ellis looking for his 4th win on home ice this year. Cole off the face-off win for the Stars. Sevier jockeying away from Benoit, back of the net. Sarich turned into the trouble. There's a little more of it here. Archer blocked it, but the Avs come out. McGinn to the Dallas line. He's lost the puck. Beverly shoved by Sarich. Sevier came in to hit Talbot. And Jordy Ben flipped it into the middle of the ice, right to Sarich, who heaves it across. Shots 25-20, Dallas, 8:40 to play in the third. 2-2 for the Stars and the Colorado Avalanche. Jordy Ben trying to leave it for Roussel. It's intercepted, and O'Reilly is into the zone. Garbutt overtakes him. Goligoski back on the ice for the Stars. There's Cody Eakin. Floating it, letting Garbutt chase after it. And they're just offside at the line. That looked close.
Go back to that face-off win for the Stars, and Colton Sevier impressed in a bunch of different ways. But on the inside of the circle, able to walk in and help out a little bit with this face-off win. You know, a lot of times it's not the center iceman that wins it clean. It was actually going back against the grain. He jumps in, jumps the circle, bunts it back. Stars get possession out of that. They always tag the center iceman with wins and losses. Aaron Toe and Roussel jostling. These 2 wingers have been effective in the game tonight. Garbutt on one side, Roussel on the other. Lots of kibble in their game tonight.
Eakin wins the faceoff. Connaughton shoots it in. Hayda, uncertain what to do with it, ran into Garbutt. Johnson lost it in the corner to Roussel. Hayda pins him to the boards. Johnson overtaking the puck and is able to finally float it to the Dallas line. Gaunt's turned it out. Landeskog ducked under a check, and here's Barry. One off Gaunt's to Eakin. Roussel makes the catch. They'll take it across, and Nichushkin was anticipating the puck to come to him. Roussel went the other way.
Well, Roussel was traversing. It's always the guy that goes offside, his responsibility. There's a timing issue. You expect one thing, don't get it. You can feel a little bit of heavy leg creeping into some individuals on both sides as this moves along in the third period. Back-to-back games. They raced each other back from Denver last night.
They got home around 2. Or into their beds, rather. Jaguar back of the net. Played it into the corner. Ben trying to work it away from Hayda. Duchesne goes to Johnson. Scooped out to center ice. Duchesne out here against Ben and company. O'Reilly eliminated at the line by Dillon.
Boy, he's been good tonight, Brendan Dillon.
Ben towards Sagan. Threw it in front. Nichushkin grabs it off the boards. Pivots. Has a little room back there. Hands it off to Sagan. Works his way around. Running out of options. Turns against Hayda. Pivots the other way. Takes it to the high slot. Leaves it for Ben. Shot it, and Dillon was there, but he couldn't make the tip, and then a little extra afterwards. There's Sagan's in the net.
That's been the matchup throughout this. I love the generation of this chance. It began with Sagan and some speed. Prior to that, Dillon in his own zone. Puck gets turned over and boom, immediately stops the progress of O'Reilly as they try to get in. Well, you get a forward back at the blue line supporting. Open season for a defenseman to creep in. On the drive-by, Dillon tried to deflect it home.
Dillon's game-high 4th hit of the night. And Whitney stole it away at the line for Horcoff in the corner. Left it for Chiasson. Eliminated by Mitchell. Horcoff getting in there. Talbot come to the ice. Whitney hit him. Yes. Horcoff tried to get to that puck. Gonchar coming down against McLeod. Loose. Horcoff trying to find it. It went aerial to Chiasson. And a penalty coming up here against the Stars. It appeared to be a little late in coming.
I think this has been a really good night both ways for the guys in stripes. Horcoff incensed on his way off. Horcoff, he got his money's worth on it, but chasing after a loose puck, reaches out for it. I don't think he ever touched him. I don't know. He knows. It's difficult when the player sells it as hard as Barrie did. They have real time. We have slow motion. And with that, it looked like he clobbered him in the chin. Instead, I think it missed him by inches. They got to kill this.
6th power play of the game for Colorado. They're 1 for 5. They scored on their first power play, but not since. In a 2-2 game with 6 minutes and change to play. Barrie shot it. Save Ellis. Rebound is loose. Dillon trying to find it. But right to Benoit. Gave it to Barrie, and the Avs reset. Nobody in front of the net. Barrie goes out to the line. Benoit handing it over. Stastny into the corner. Parenteau back out on top. Benoit leaving it. Parenteau starts keeping him on the outside here. Barrie is loose. Tried to pass it over. Blocked by a diving Goligoski and cleared.
Boy, this D pair has made some sensational defensive plays in the game. Both of them have had blocks like that.
And Peverley knocked it off Parenteau's stick at center ice. Just shoot it around the boards. Jordy Ben scampering after it. Tried to play it back of the net. It goes back of the net, but to Peverley. To the line for Benoit. Rockets off Stastny's skate. He hands it to Landeskog. Back on top for Benoit. Peverley out to challenge. Landeskog pumped it into the corner hard for Parenteau. Stastny tried to set a pick on Jordy Ben. Shot from Benoit is blocked. Loose in the slot and not cleared. Barrie, 35 left on the power play. Into the corner, he got it back from Stastny. Over to Benoit. Nobody in front, Parenteau off to the side. Stastny centered, and Ellis makes the save on Landeskog.
Oh, this is flat out larceny in tight, his best of the year. Weary penalty killers late in this kill. They give up the chance you do not want to give up. Triangulation from the power play of the Avalanche, and in tight Landeskog steps. He's got a wicked shot and pace this one glove side. Ellis follows with the eyes and stones him in tight. What a stop.
Colorado wins the faceoff. Still time here. 22 seconds left on the power play. Johnson kept it in at the line. Duchesne gave it to Barrie and gets it back again. The unit out here for a long time. Here's Barrie. Now to Duchesne. Into the corner, O'Reilly. Back to Duchesne to the forehand, and Ellis was there to help defend him. Stars get Horcoff back. Goligoski working Duchesne over. Dillon going over there to crush Johnson in the corner. Eakin will pick it up, and here come the Stars. Horcoff lunging after the puck, but O'Reilly knocked it away.
Sometimes the group kills a penalty off. That time it was the goalie.
Here's O'Reilly back in. Shot it, save Ellis. Down to Chushkin. It's a little bit too long, and Seguin helps him out.
Move your feet, move your feet.
Seguin being tugged on all the way across the Colorado line. Under 4 minutes to play in the third period. Good game tonight. Really good game. 2-2 for the Stars and the Avs. Jordy Ben shot it, and that went off Sarich's stick and almost into the net. Good Nichushkin in there with Hayda in the corner. Ben trying to find it off the back of the goal. Sagan blocked up by Talbot. Back to the net, it's Hayda pumping it around. Gonchar keeping it in, but briefly. Talbot pushed it ahead. Here comes Mitchell into the zone. Talbot from the wing to McGinn. A shot tipped up high. The line for Johnson, a drive. Blocked, but it broke Peverley's stick. Johnson sending it over to Holden. A shot save Ellis. And Peverley without a stick can't make the play. It goes over to Johnson. Dragging it, shooting it. Jamie Benn blocks it. Johnson from the hinge. Peverley has a new stick. And it goes to Sevier. There goes Peverley chasing it at center ice. He's got Sevier in the line. Sevier in. He shoots his scores. How about that?
Above average net minding, a couple of gutsy blocks, one right in the fundament from the captain, Jamie Benn. And then they went flowing like toilet paper off a roll. On offense, brilliant pass by Peverley. Ginsu knife goal from Sevier. Walks in, tucks it 5-hole on Jiggy. Stars have their go-ahead goal with just under an eyelash. Under 3 minutes to go in regulation here at American Airlines Center. What a turn of events.
Colton Sevier's second goal of the season. Rich Peverley with the assist, and the Stars lead it 3-2. See if they can close them out. Roussel takes it over. Barry had a little problem with the puck. They get away with it, and Parenteau looking over his right shoulder for it at center. Fires it on in. Ellis back of the net, taps it to Connaughton. Lobbing it out to center ice. Garbutt challenging Benoit. Hard. Barry got it up. Garbutt was spilled. Cole coming out. And he helped knock that pass away. Garbutt's back up and into the zone. Garbutt shooting it, saves Jaguar. Landeskog turned it over. Garbutt again. Drops it for Cole. Looks off to Peverley, and he shot it wide. Ellis getting an assist on that goal, too. How about that?
Made the save. Made all the saves here in the third.
Here come the Avs, though. Stastny's shot blocked and set out of play with under 2 minutes remaining in the third period. Holy cow, what a game.
Yeah, American Airlines Center is bombulating right now. The Stars are buzzing. Big tally from that man for the go-ahead goal. It comes after the fact, though. Great net minding by Ellis. That crucial save on Landeskog on the power play. Really threw that entire sequence. And he's been dynamite at home, huh?
145 away from his fourth win. There goes Jaguar to the bench. Extra attacker coming for Colorado. Duchesne dumped. Dillon tried to play it away. Goligoski will shooting it past Johnson. This will be icing against Dallas. 1:28 on the clock.
We'll go back to those crucial interventions from Ellis. Love the save early in the penalty kill to keep it in front of him. Give him a chance and his teammates a chance to make second effort saves in front. None better, though, than the Landeskog stop. Then he stole the ice away from Duchesne. Artuaka's shot of the game comes on the heels of that. Nice cutter from Peverley to Sevier, who's been terrific since coming up from Cedar Park. That's the difference in the game right now for the Stars over the Avalanche, trying to beat them for the first time this year.
What a moment that must be for a young man who's in and out of training camp every year, laboring away down in the American League. He knows he's got good stats there, and he comes up here, he gets a chance, and in front of the hometown crowd does that.
Well, he comes up with the, draped in the cape of confidence, right? I mean, leading the league in goals and playing good hockey, confidence of his coach immediately. He said after he scored his first NHL goal in that game in Winnipeg that he was a text celebrity for multiple hours right after that. That his phone was blowing up.
Well, I bet it's doing it right now, too. All right, extra attacker on for Colorado off the timeout and the icing. I don't think Goligoski's going to take the draw. Jamie Benwill against Stastny.
Trying to get the responsibilities for Duchesne, I think.
Colorado wins the draw. Johnson puts it back of the net. There's Stastny. Got Landeskog in front. Gives it to O'Reilly. Back around to Duchesne. Boy, they got skill on the ice. Duchesne centered it. It went off O'Reilly to Sagan. Bursting through at center. He shoots. Just wide, but off the post. Sagan recovers it. Gave it to Ben. Oh, and it was tipped off the crossbar.
Sometimes you can wait too long. I don't know what type of snake it is that has these two bitten on home ice. It's a cottonmouth or a water mock or what it is, but Sagan drills one in Edmondson from the other end from 2 knees, and then Ben dusts this off and gets thwarted on that. Yeah, it hit the stick. That's how it's gone. It's been a rough couple of games for the Stars captain.
Yeah, not a great time. Jaguar's back in the net. Here's Goligoski. Pitchforks it in. Jaguar gives it to Stastny. Stars trying to keep him locked up a little bit here. And they do as Garbutt held it in. Here comes Duchesne. There goes Jaguar. O'Reilly gave it right to Goligoski, who can't get it out of the zone. O'Reilly passing it in deep, centering feed, and Duchesne will collect it. Centered it for Stastny. A shot. Ellis made the stop. It's loose behind him. A big pile up, and the puck squirts free. Duchesne trying to shoot it off the body. Save Ellis. Duchesne hands it up to Stastny. That's blocked. Duchesne back in the net to O'Reilly. That's blocked by Goligoski. What a series of events, and the Stars clear it. Everybody standing in American Airlines Center as the Avs are stacked up outside the line. They get it in again. O'Reilly passes to Stastny. Back of the net for Parenteau. 5 to play. O'Reilly shooting it wide. Duchesne tries to center. Wonderful valor at the end of that game.
Man, did they need a performance from their netminder as this thing wound down. The Avs got multiple opportunities to knot this game at 3. Oh, wow, that just missed. Dribbling through. Ellis got himself back in some kind of position to deal with offerings from both sides. There are a ton of block shots here in the third, 2 from the guys in front. That was the biggie, right through the legs of Goligoski from O'Reilly and off the body of Ellis, who plugged the hole at the end of the rink. He's got to factor in the 3 stars after this one, and he does, in fact, run his home record to a pristine 4-0.
And he gets an assist on the game-winning goal. So how about that? Stars and the Colorado Avalanche split the 2-game series. Colorado wins big in Denver last night, and Dallas fights back hard to claim a hard-fought 3-2 victory here at American Airlines Center. The game is produced by Jason Walsh and directed by Mark Vittorio. The associate producers, John Sponsler and Doug Foster. For Daryl Ray and Nick and Waddle and the rest of the gang, I'm Ralph Strangis. What a game. Post-game show's coming up now.